born in 1979, and he has Asperger's syndrome, which is like the high end of autism. And he's like a super functional version of an autistic person, supposedly. Okay, and it was really interesting. It was a talking book. In other words, he had written his memoir about his life. He was the guy who, I don't know in what year, but he broke the world record for the person to memorize the most, the biggest portion, or the... Okay, let's see. Oh, gosh, I'm losing my language power here. 22,500 digits behind the decimal point of the number pi. He memorized and recited in 5 hours and 13 minutes at Oxford in 2004, 2006. I don't know when it was, because I didn't pay attention when I was listening to the book. And he has synesthetic experience of letters and numbers and words. In other words, he experiences numbers as having color and shape, and they make a landscape for him in his mind. So he experiences words also as having colors, and he experiences feelings totally differently than quote-unquote normal human beings. The interesting thing for me was, while listening to the book, that very many of the symptoms of autism that he was talking about happened to him in his early life also happened to me. And I was going, oh, well, this is interesting, this is strange. In other words, I had experienced, or a handle on his experience, because very, very similar things have happened to me, but not to the degree that they've happened to him. But definitely a real similar kind of internal experience. I don't want to talk about those right now, but definitely I can say that a new version of man has come to Earth. And it's an evolutionary stage, and I seriously think that autism has something to do with this. That people are going to relate to each other on a totally different plane of consciousness. Because one of the things about autistic people with Asperger's syndrome, and a lot of other people, and I've been saying recently that people who are, the new man has come to Earth, and people feel so uncomfortable in their own skin because they've come as the new man to the old paradigm, and things have to change, things have to move forward. And the interesting thing about this new man, these people, is that their inability to interact with each other socially. Okay? Which is a huge problem that I've experienced in my life. It's my inability to correctly understand social cues. And so many things, like becoming extremely angry, like in a flash, with no control, just tantrums, stuff like that. All kinds of stuff that's happened that I could totally relate to. Not just the things that happened, but the why it happened. I could totally relate to what he was talking about. And I'm thinking, because of, in the last weeks and months, having again come around to the being able to totally see why I came in a body this time. That being to usher in this new age, to give birth to the new age of man. And in my case, being one of the first. Because actually the new man, according to Mother Pondicherry, the new man wasn't born until after 1969. And I came in the body in 1956. But 1956 was a really special year. Mother changed something in Earth consciousness, and she sent out emanations, and this what you're seeing in front of you is one of those. And there's a lot of them. Okay, but in 1956, that whole energy came, and that was part of the first wave. So this emanation was part of that first wave. So these autistic people are so special for that reason, because they're part of the new consciousness. That's my feeling, just my theory. I've always been drawn to that whole topic and didn't understand, but also something had stopped me from investigating it until just recently. So I listened to that man's memoir, and I was just like totally blown away by the things he was talking about. Completely blown away. The future is bright. It's divine. So there's a team of people that I need to work with. They're out there. Some of them will watch this at some point, or somehow we'll come together to the miracle of modern technology, most likely, and make a show, either an internet channel or hopefully also a television show, so that people can start to get the vision of the new Earth. And it'll be fun, because it's not going to be stodgy and stuffy and cramped and straight up, like, I'm trying to remember the German word for when they straighten the rivers. It's not going to be like that. Things are going to work according to the natural cycle. That's the only way to go, is to follow nature, because otherwise it's we're just killing ourselves. So, but enough of that, because that is done. It's done. It's a done deal. Like in the Gita, Krishna says to Arjuna at one point, I've already killed them. Just be an instrument. Just go out and do it. They're already done. It's already done. All you have to do is play your part now. Okay, so that's what I'm doing right now. It's already done, folks. Why is it already done? Because it's already in the subtle plane. The subtle plane just has to come down and to manifest on the gross plane. And that's the last hurdle. And that's where we're at right now, is bringing what's in the subtle into the gross. So the fact that this person that's sitting right here, that this being is not feeling and experiencing such total misery anymore, is a huge thing. Why? Because this is the embodiment of Earth consciousness. Which is not to say that it's the only one. You are also that. Don't be confused. You are the embodiment of Earth consciousness. And that's the new man. The new man who is coming is the spiritual man, who is not going to be confused and think that he's a separate individual who can do whatever he wants and screw up everything. That's the old paradigm. The new paradigm is one for all and all for one. One in all and all in one. That's the new paradigm. And that's what you're seeing right here, and that's what you are. Don't be confused. Okay?